Well, it's Friday afternoon and I'm heading out again. It's the end of September, so it's still green around the place, and I thought I'd get out, have a look at a few of the wildflowers and go into an area that I've passed through a number of times in the four-wheel drive but actually haven't been in on the motorbike. It's quite a popular spot and cuts into the catchment area of Perth for the water, and just come off the Great Southern Highway here. As you can tell by the road, it is very popular with the four-wheel drivers. The wildflowers are out and it's actually a magic area, nice and flat. If you don't come from Western Australia, you'll see big grass trees. They look like something out of Cousinette. They're hundreds of years old, and a little seedling will take 200 to 300 years to get to that height. So they're quite interesting, and they're called, used to be called black boys, but now called grass trees. Right, I've just pulled up to the little creek that runs through. That's actually a natural creek. It hasn't been dug out, even though it looks like someone's put a digger in there and cleared it out as a trench. This side of the creek is quite popular with the four-wheel drivers camping and shooting through, so I actually want to get over the other side where there's a single track where just the trail bikes go through, and it'll be a little bit safer. While I was actually camping there overnight, about 12:30 in the morning, a group of four-wheel drivers went down through this road, doing a bit of a night drive, so I'm pleased I was tucked up and out of the way. Just crossed the creek now, and you can see where the four-wheel drivers head off in different areas, so down on the single track. This track runs all the way through the forest and the bush. Very popular in the weekends. You can hear them buzzing out there all day. Great place if you want to take the kids, because it's nice and flat, most of it, but there are a few tight spots as you go through, as you can just see. Looking back across the other side. I love coming out to places like this, just getting away on my own and a little bit of a relax. You don't have to go far out of town. You just see a bit of bush, as long as there's no fences or someone with a shotgun saying don't come in, and you can go out and do a bit of stealth camping. I'm not far off the highway, so I know I'll get a bit of highway noise in the background, but with all the thick bush it shouldn't be too bad. Some more grass trees there, or cousinettes. Kangaroos like to chew on the top of those. So I'm just in the Wandoo now, just up from the creek on the high side, and spotted a nice campsite here. A couple of trees to tie my hammock and my tents and everything off. I'm on my XT250, it's a 2013 model. Added a few bits and pieces to it, so if you have a look at my channel, there's some modifications I've made to it and some videos there on that. Great bike, easy to handle, takes the weight, but if I drop it I can pick it up. Not that I've dropped it yet. Just having a look around, there's wildflowers on the ground everywhere. I don't know how well they're going to show up in this video. Right, first part of my setup is a big fly. I have a Hennessy hammock, and this is the ACM fly that goes over the top, the larger one, but I use it quite regularly just as a bit of a screening, and especially if there's a bit of moisture and dew around overnight, this will really help keep me dry and my gear dry. Step one, I don't know if you've ever watched Camping with Steve videos, but check him out, Steve Wallace, and you'll know exactly what a step one and a step two is. It's quick and easy to set these things up. Nice clear ground. Always mindful of I don't sort of camp on a trail where the kangaroos go through, or any other animals have put a track through to the water. And there's not too much roo poo around, because roos are known to have ticks. Right, this is the Black Wolf bivvy, the stealth mode. I just have a piece of plastic underneath it, so I've got the ground sheet ready to go. Not the best of camp tents, because if you do close it right up you get a fair bit of condensation, but you can just have the top half folded back and just have the mesh, which isn't so bad. For a quick and easy camp, I use it mainly when I go hiking and I'm just going to take something light. It's just under 1 kilo, doesn't take up much room, but it's quick, keeps the mozzies off at night and keeps any snakes or anything else like that out. And a little bit of camo netting at the front just to give me a bit more privacy and disguise everything. The bike I just throw a piece of green ground sheet over, and that one disguises the bike, but also I can put my jackets and helmets and boots and everything up on the seat underneath, keep them dry and keep them, I'm not going to get a scorpion or a snake making bed in it overnight. Just wander back down to the creek there, and a step 2. Sit down and have a drink. Few flies around, and here's a bit of a rabbit's eye view of the wildflowers. The orange ones I think are called Cape tulips. There's a lot of just daisy type things. Most of the white ones are a wild orchid that grow in this area, but there were some pinks, all sorts of things in there. One called that's native to this area is a kangaroo paw. They're a beautiful plant, but my wife has no success in growing them in our own garden. I think we've a bit too much clay in our area, and they like the softer, sandier sort of soils. That's a kangaroo paw there. They come in several different colours, but the green and red. A cooking setup you would have seen. Again, I've got a bit of a video on that on my channel, so it shows you my pot. I can use gas, tablets, whatever I want for a fuel, and doing something simple today, just a rice and satay meal, actually designed to microwave. My little salt shaker there is just a straw melted down at each end with a bit of salt in it, so it keeps it nice and dry. Just squash the ends down with a pair of pliers. It's the morning now and just getting ready for some breakfast, and another quick and easy can of beans and sausage. Bit of a Kiwi look there with the socks and thongs. I always take a pair of thongs or flip-flops or jandals, depends where you come from, so you're not clumping around in your boots all the time, just nice and comfortable on the feet, especially if it's a bit warmer. That's the end of the camp. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm just heading out now and back onto the road. You can go for miles around this place, and it joins up with quite a number of other roads out there. There was one more stop I wanted to have a look at on the way home, which was a natural spring. It's just off the bush here, and some idiots nearly burnt the tree out there, but this is a natural spring. And on the other side of the track, if you ever come out this way, there's the ruins of a convict camp. Came across it years ago. There's not much left, but there is the bit of a chimney and some mud brick chimney and a few other bits and pieces out there. But very hard to find, but it is almost opposite this, as I say, on the track that comes in. You can't hear it in there, but there's a lot of frogs.